So, if you guys remember in the previous episode when I said I was terrified that the game devs would update the experimental version and I would pretty much lose all my progress, well, it's happened. And it couldn't have happened at a worse time. Now, before this episode, I took like a day to collect as much clay as possible, which I turned into bricks, so we could make an episode where I would build this amazing house. Now, I'm not too down about it because I've still got the plans. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I did see the comments, guys, for the names of the raft. And I'm still going to continue that on for when I build it again, which should be in 1 or 2 more episodes. But I just wanted to take a second because it's been a while since I've seen the sun come up over the horizon. And it's really weird in this game because you do get that weird zen moment when everything is just quiet and still and you see the sun come up. And I needed that after like 14 hours of grinding in this game. But I mean, ultimately it was my fault because I did mention it and I knew it was going to happen. But hopefully from this update you guys will see which direction the game is headed in because it's brought with it some very cool new additions. So let's just get straight into it. This bat meat has taken literally like 20 minutes to cook. I don't know if something's bugged out. Okay, we'll leave it there. Hopefully we'll hear the ding. Wait, is it cooked? Oh, it is cooked. I just didn't hear the ding. Alright, there we go. Alright, before I do anything else, I wanted to run through with you all exactly what is in this update. There's a whole list of things that you can read, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. But the first thing we're going to take a look at and build is called the plank station. So I believe I've got everything. I've taken like, I don't know how long I've been playing this today, but I think I have everything. If I don't, I can always go to one of the islands. But alright, so open the crafting menu, go down to structures, and it should be at the bottom. There it is, plank station. So we need 1 lashing, we need a log, a stick, a crude hammer, and a refined axe to make this. And I should have all of that, so we're going to collect it now. So where did I put? There's the hammer. There's the refined axe. And I've got plenty of sticks. So we can make this thing now. I wanted to make sure I made it with you guys, so I made it in the episode and not beforehand, because I wanted to take a look at it at the same time as you guys. Why is it on building? Crafting, structures. Oh, it's because I've got the hammer. Go down to plank station. Okay. I thought this was going to be bigger. I like this. I don't know how long this has been in the game. I think I mentioned it before. But how you can rotate stuff. It's needed that for a while. Alright, let's place you there. That model actually looks really cool. So it's used everything that the recipe needs. I know you guys can see what's going on with the player's animation with the armor stuff. We'll get to that, guys, because that's mainly the reason why I'm making this video. But for the most part, this looks really cool. You've got the hammer there. You've got the refined axe actually stuck into the log. Now, there is something that comes with this when they give the explanation of what this does. I'll actually read it out to you guys. The new plank station is a craftable station that allows you to craft planks from logs by a process called riving or something. If anyone knows what that word means, then please let me know. I think it's a form of being able to shave wood, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that, but I've never heard that word before, riving or riving. I don't know. But that's what it says on the dev notes. So let's take a look at how this works. What do we need to actually turn these things into planks? So tools, where do we go from here? Okay, we just need a log and the actual station. So give me this one log. I'll bring it over this way. I think it was actually in range then as well. So press that and there we go. So you no longer have to worry about getting these things now. These are actually ones that I found. I've not made this yet. But you no longer have to worry about going to islands now in order to find these. Because I know finding them, it can be a bit of a pain. And if you're like me and you like certain things to look nice on your builds, then you want stuff like the plank scraps or like the metal, which I've got here, to be able to just put a little bit of a finish onto things. And look at the raft. My beautiful raft, my huge cargo raft is gone. This is just a distant memory of what it was. But like I say, guys, I do have all of the messages or the comments from the previous episode for the names of the raft, which I have read, and some of them are amazing. So I will go through them again, give you guys a little bit more time in case anyone comes up with something that I've not read yet. And then when we make it again, which again will only be in a couple of episodes, I'll definitely use the label maker on it, and I'll make sure I pin your comment. But yeah, that's the first one. So what was that called? The plank station. Now the second thing I want to tell you all about, which it does say in the updates, there is a new leather water skin which fits nicely between coconuts and clay water bottles. So it's a kind of in-between thing. And I believe we make it over here, which I should have enough for. I did pick up a couple of... I've been to a few of the bigger islands, and I did find some shipwrecks just off this island too. Like this one, I think I only found I found barrels in that one. But I did find leather in a few of these crates. I just don't know where it is. Medical, nothing. Use that. Duct tape. Can't believe it. It's every single time I start a new save, and I know I can't keep it, I always find something cool. I think I found a rebreather somewhere too. Where is it? Some leather there. That's what I need. This. Look, and I found an air tank again, not a rebreather. But every single time I start a new game, I always find something really cool. Alright, so what do we need to do to make the water skin? So let's open this again. 1 stick, 1 raw hide, 3 leather, and the tanning rack. Let's make it. So I'm assuming then that this doesn't have a different way of filling it up. No, you can't use this. So again, it's going to be used with, if I get this name wrong, I'm going to be really annoyed. Yeah, the solar still. Wait, do we have 3 rocks? Let me just check the island real quick. 1 rock there. I did use them because, as you guys know if you've got the game yourself, there's like a tutorial stage. We have to make like the, what's it called? This thing, the stone tool. So I did use them, and I used them to build other things too. I'm not going to be able to find a 3rd rock. Always the way. Every single time it comes to an episode, there's like just one thing that just doesn't go right. Okay, I don't think I can make a solar still. I was going to wait and see if I could make the solar still to maybe fill up the water skin. I don't know, maybe I'll take a quick trip over there before the end of the episode. But I mean, you guys can definitely see what this thing looks like. Leather water skin, a water bottle crafted from leather. And it looks really cool too. I mean, you can definitely see that being crafted from the pigs, or maybe, just maybe, some more animals that they may add to the game. I mean, at heart, this is a very, very strict survival game in terms of what they're going to implement. But with the new additions like these structures and stuff, and I mean, not a lot of people at one point thought they'd ever add a pig to the game. So who knows, maybe they will add like smaller animals. I've always said things like carcasses of whales washed up, or maybe sea turtles and stuff, which I know people have said have been in the game, but they're not anymore. Maybe it's because I'm on experimental, but I don't know. Wait, is that the whale? No. That's something I'm looking out for too, as much as Wally in the game. I haven't seen the whale in the longest time. Alright, so we've seen the plank station, and now we've seen the water skin. I'm going to keep this on me as well. It's been a while since I've used this. I'm going to use it towards the end of the episode. So, plank station, water skin. Now, this is the most exciting part of the update. I've been telling you guys it's going to take a drastic turn, and the game's going to be pretty much full throttle with updates and the way the game is played from players. It's no longer just go from A to B, try and collect stuff, and just try and survive as long as possible. Now there is a player status effect, and if you guys remember a few weeks back, I read on the Trello and pretty much from the devs update notes that they will be adding a skill tree to the game. They're just trying to fine-tune everything. Now, what they've implemented so far is the player status effect, and as you guys have just seen, that animation you've just seen is our character, which has sunburn. And I think they've kept it the same. I think they've always had this sunburn effect in the game, but now you've got like a third tier on the BP watch, which is your survival watch, and it gives you status effects. And the only two that I've seen so far is, oh no, I've seen three: sunburn, poisoning, and cold when it's nighttime. So you're going to have to watch out for that. Now, it does say on the notes that you can get sunburn by going extended periods without shelter or shade. The only problem that I've seen with that is this. I mean, you can imagine, if you're traveling from island to island, in fact, let's go to this island real quick, I'll show you guys. If you're traveling from island to island, you can't really stay in shade. So you've either got two options now. Try and stay as cool as possible in the times of day when it is cool as possible, maybe when it's like, you know, overcast or something, or there's like fog, which in my opinion is super dangerous in this game because the amount of times I've got lost is insane. Or go at night time. The only third option that I think they could add is a way to implement shelters onto the raft. But I think they've stayed clear of that because what is going on there? Is that just a random tyrant? Oh wait, that's one of mine! I found that on the front of this ship. Okay, I don't need it anyway. I mean, I'm not keeping this save. If this was my real save, I'd be pissed. But like I was saying, I don't think they've implemented the shelters to be able to attach onto a raft, because then what need is there for a base? You know? I think that's kind of why they've strayed from it. But if there was a way that you could just put maybe like the tarps or something. I know I always use it, but in Castaway, when Tom Hanks uses the okay, you guys can definitely tell that I'm not used to being on the water, especially on a boat. The thing is called a sail. How did I forget that? But it's called a sail. In the movie Castaway, Tom Hanks uses the sail as a kind of cover to shade himself away from the sun while he's adrift. Again, no spoilers, guys. If you haven't seen it by now, you're probably never going to. But I wanted to take a look at this effect if we went into shade, and because I've completely consumed that island like I always do, I'm going to stay like here. My suspicions are that it won't happen when you're in the shade of a tree or something. It'll have to be like a house buff, so you're completely shaded inside of your house. Oh no, wait, look. It does go away. I like that, the way they've done that. So any shade that you can find, which is definitely doable shade, I mean plentiful shade, and not just like this, behind a tree. Wait, does this work? No, I'm pretty sure we're going to get sunburn from that. You can change the effects of the player, which is really cool. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if they do implement that skill tree, maybe they could add a way for something like fortitude, if I'm saying that word right, or fortitude, or whatever you call it. I know it's a way of being able to kind of keep resistance against the elements, so I like that. It kind of gives you the opportunity to not play the game as the same as everyone else, which is how the game was before they started implementing this stuff. Okay, I'm going to find a couple more rocks. I'm going to see if that water skin works. I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay guys, so we're back. Now, I've been testing this for a couple of minutes, and actually you can find decent amount of shade already in the game. I mean, you can see I've not got the sunburn effect anymore. So I'm just going to test this one more time, seeing as though the sun's about to go down. We're going to get a little bit toasty in whatever sun we've got left. Yeah, it's still not there. So it is a gradual thing, so they've already implemented that into the game. I mean, this is experimental, which reminds me as well that there are a few bugs at the moment because they're still not finely tuned with what's in this update. Like, you're going to see this weird animation when he gets the sunburn. It pops up all the time, but that's just a matter of fine-tuning the update. The one thing I did want to say, which I feel really bad about, because I do get a lot of cool pictures from you guys, especially tweets, showing the progression that you've made in the game because you play side by side with the series. And I just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up. Don't make the same mistakes as me. If anything, make sure you guys stick to the stable version. I go into experimental so I could show you guys these cool updates. Are we going to get the sunburn effect? I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe it's a certain time of day as well then. But I go into experimental so I can show you guys these things. And if I suffer something like loss of progression, it only means that I have to just work a little bit harder to get back to where we were, which I'm fine with, but I'd feel so bad if you guys lost your stuff. So don't make the same mistakes as me. Okay, here we go. So the sun has gone down, and we actually didn't get sunburnt again. That's really interesting. So maybe it is at the hottest points of the day. I'm assuming when the sun's highest in the sky. Sun gonna vanish? It still never gets boring. Look at the colours of that. It's so cool. But I did want to test something else as well. I made the solar still, and now we've got the water skin. So, yeah, it's exactly the same. What about when we drink? Okay, so how much does it refill us, though? Okay, that's not that bad. So this is definitely a viable option now. If you don't want to worry about collecting all the clay and stuff, if you've got the means to make a water skin, then you can definitely survive with this thing. That's actually really cool. Now, there's a couple more things that I wanted to tell you guys about. I'm going to get the fire going just so you guys can see. Wait, do I have a torch? Yeah, I do. There's a couple more things that I wanted to tell you guys about, which I'm excited for. I'm going to keep playing and hopefully I'll experience them. Now, it says from the player effects, you won't experience any immediate negative side effects, although it does go on to say that things like cold will develop into flu, which will persist for a few game hours even after you warm up again. I love that. I mean, there's already some kind of effects that you get, like the poison stuff, but there's no real kind of illnesses in the game, which you would get on an island like this through like malnutrition and things like that, or even through just being out in the sun too long, like heat stroke. That's really dangerous in this situation. So I'm going to keep playing, I'm going to keep testing it for you guys, but before the next episode, I'm going to stream, which by the time this video goes up should be tomorrow, if I've got this right. So on Sunday, I'm going to be streaming, guys. I'm going to be working my backside off to try and get back to the point where we were in the game. So if you want to come along for the fun, see my struggles, you're more than welcome to, guys. Again, the link to my Twitch is down in the description. Even though this wasn't the longest video, I just wanted to kind of show you all which direction the game is headed in, because I think it's really cool. And if they keep implementing stuff like this, Stranded Deep is going to become a serious survival game. Although it's really cool now and I know you guys love it, it's going to become even better than it is. More details, more craftable stuff is always good in my book. But I guess, guys, for now, I'm going to end it here. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you all in the next one.